Hey guys, Ben Labadie here, and I am with Toyin Crandell.
Hello, hello. Hi, everyone.
And she is running for the nomination to be the candidate for the Conservative Party of Canada.
Yes.
When is this going to happen?
So I'm running to be our next Conservative candidate right here in Chatham-Kent, Leamington. It's for the federal election, which is going to be happening next year. We think, it's whenever the Prime Minister calls it. But the nomination where they actually choose who the candidate will be is happening sometime later in the fall, is what I know so far.
Okay, so if you guys have questions, this is a little bit different because there's not an actual election going on.
Exactly.
It's more getting to know people. So this is more actually what I think would be valuable for the people watching is to learn the whole process. So
yes.
First, there's Dave Van Kesteren is our...
Dave Van Kesteren is currently our Member of Parliament, which means he represents our riding in Ottawa federally. He is not seeking re-election in the coming election, and what that means is because he won't be he's a Conservative Member of Parliament, he won't be the Conservative candidate. So right now, the Conservative Party is about to choose who their next candidate will be in the upcoming election. So what happens and the way the process works, just so that you guys all get it, is they're going to be having one meeting later on this year. And in this meeting, you have to show up physically. You also have to be a member of the Conservative Party to be able to have that privilege to vote and choose. But for all Conservative Party members, you show up at a meeting and you put your vote on who you want the representative for the party to be in the coming federal election. So a lot of people get very excited about having a vote and having a say at an election level or electoral level. But I like to tell people that, look, if you can get involved at a nomination level, your voice is that much louder because you actually get to choose who is on the ballot. Okay. And then everybody else can just choose between the people on the ballot. Okay,
so you've been out in the community so far. You're
yes.
talking to people and you're kind of campaigning in a way.
Yes.
And how's that going? What kind of reaction do you get?
Oh my gosh, people are very, very excited about our nomination campaign right now. We've been having meetings all over the place. We've been having meetings in Chatham, Leamington. We have 2 coming up in Wheatley, 2 coming up in Highgate, Ridgetown, Blenheim. So there's a lot of just excitement about what's happening. We've been knocking on doors, and so obviously on the doors, hey Sarah, on the doors, people are really surprised because they're like, the federal election isn't happening yet. But once I explain to them that this is the nomination process and we need people to come in and support and choose the candidate, I find a lot of people are very excited. And I think they're more excited that I'm just at their door at this time. They're just like, wow. For some of them, they say, no one's ever come to my door yet, so this is exciting for me, and they want to get involved.
Well, you certainly have a lot of energy.
Yes.
Okay. So, how did you get here to Chatham-Kent, Leamington, and why are you wanting this position?
Okay. So myself and my family, I'm married. My husband's name's Joshua. I have a 2-year-old daughter. Her name's Maranatha. I love her. And hey Sue. The way that we got here was I'm Nigerian by birth, and I've lived in Etobicoke North. So when I came to Canada about 20 years ago, I lived in Etobicoke North. And living in Etobicoke North, I did a lot of community advocacy and work and service. And in that process, I ended up running in the last federal election to be their Conservative candidate in Etobicoke North. And it was amazing. We won the nomination. We ran a strong campaign. And since that election, myself and my husband literally just chose to come and live in Chatham because those of us know, hey Funke, hey Ryan, good to see you guys. So those of us who know the price of houses is a little bit different in Chatham than it is in Toronto. And so myself and my husband were planning on purchasing a home. We decided to come over here knowing that, our current MP Van Kesteren, is an amazing MP. And when in the process of coming, I found out that he is not seeking re-election. I had gotten involved in our community here, so gotten involved with the Rotary at Ridgetown, Chatham-Kent Chamber of Commerce, United Way. I'm a United Way ambassador out here. So just getting involved in the community again, I decided, you know what, this is something I want to do. I know that a strength of mine is advocacy and is speaking up on behalf of people. And I know that that's the job of a member of parliament. A member of parliament's job is to represent the people that live in our riding. Absolutely. And because that is a real strength of mine, and I really, really love the Conservative Party, agree with a lot of our values, I decided why not put my name in the hat and do this thing.
Okay, so you are a very exciting person to have on here. Just boom. Okay, so what did you do before this to kind of prepare you for this position, type of work, stuff like that?
So I have done a lot. Well, I'll start with business. So I've run businesses for about 13 years now. I've hired dozens of people.
And how old are you?
I am not going to say how old I am on a Facebook Live. But you can ask me this off of the live and I will tell you. But as you can tell, I am younger than a lot of the candidates that you see out there. And for me, I actually got started with business in my teens. Okay. And I ran a $150,000 business when I was in my first year of university. That's when it started. So I've done a lot when it comes to business, and now I'm a financial coach. So what I actually do professionally and what I've done for years is I help Canadians get rid of debt. $20,000 to $70,000 worth of debt in 2 years or less. Mm-hmm. And I've done that for so long, and I'm just seeing the financial state of our nation. Sue's like, you have the enthusiasm and positive attitude we need here in Chatham-Kent. Yes, Sue!
And from Sue, that means something.
Yes, I receive it, thank you. And so working with a lot of Canadian families and just seeing the weight of debt, the weight of taxes, the weight of the cost of living here in Ontario, but even in Canada, I really, really wanted to do something about it. So that was the first thing, is just seeing the need financially for fiscal responsibility. Right. The second thing that really pushed me into this is I speak on a lot of social justice issues. And so I've spoken on the issues of elder abuse, human trafficking, and so many different things where right here in Chatham-Kent, like I don't know if you guys know this, you probably do, but because of where we sit on the 401 corridor, human trafficking is a real concern for us here. And that's actually something that I've talked about and done a lot of awareness around. I've gone over to Cambodia, worked with women who've been trafficked and all of that. And so it's just bringing the compassion as well as the fiscal responsibility together, and being able to bring that. But one last thing that I will mention that prepares me on a national level is I've actually done a lot of work for about 4 to 5 years with members of parliament in Ottawa on policies that affect our nation right now. So I've worked with MPs like, some of you may know her, you may not, Joy Smith. She is an MP. She was an MP for about 11 years. She's from Manitoba. And she was the MP who actually introduced the first 2 bills that became laws related to human trafficking in our nation. Before that, we literally had no laws around human trafficking, which is like ridiculous. Right. And so just doing work with MPs on bills and things like that, policies, I know that I would be able to speak to these policies, and also work on the financial and the social aspect as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Do you drink coffee?
No,
you don't drink coffee.
People are really surprised by that. I drink almost no coffee, no Red Bull. The energy is just internal. This is my drink right here.
Water. Awesome. Now, what else do you do? You are a ordained minister, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Can you marry people?
Yes.
Okay.
Marriages and funerals. I haven't done any. I know I have some of the youth that I've mentored over the years are all just waiting till they get married so I can marry them. But I am an ordained minister, myself and my husband. We've done a lot of ministry work. We're Christians. So we've done a lot of ministry work over the years. I've done like full-time ministry, just working with the homeless, running Bible studies, leading worship. I have about 4 albums, worship albums that have been released.
That you sing?
Yes, I sing.
Oh, cool.
I'm a worship leader. We just led worship at a Life Bridge in Thamesville. Shout out to you guys a couple weeks ago. And we led worship at the Caribbean Love Ministry. When was it? Just this Sunday. Yes, 2 days ago. So yes, I lead worship. My husband plays professional music. And yeah, I do a lot when it comes to my faith. I'm very much, I love God, I love Jesus Christ, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
Awesome. So Sue is part of my 6 a.m. walking group.
Yes, I saw a photo of you guys.
She wants you to come out there, and you're probably the only one that could keep up with Sue because she goes faster than everybody.
All right, Sue, I am coming to join you. I don't know if I can keep up with you, but I will come out and join you. Do you guys go every day?
Monday to Friday.
Okay, so then I can come. I will come this week. I am making that promise on Facebook Live, so you're going to see me.
All right, that sounds good. So what are the greatest challenges that you kind of face? Like one kind of probably obvious one is most people think of conservatives as generally mostly white dominant, mostly male dominant.
Yep.
You are not a male nor are you white. What kind of challenges or reactions do you get from
being me?
From being you.
When we go campaigning or door knocking, I will say this. I literally, except for one instance, and I've been to many doors, many people just receive me because they know that it's about what I stand for.
Right.
It's about what the work that I'm gonna do. I've only had one door where the person just thought I was a university student, even though I had graduated from university like 10 years ago, just because I look younger. So he was like,
young, yes.
you know, he saw me and he's like, oh, I thought you were a university student and you were coming to sell me something. And I told him, no, I'm here running to seek the nomination. And he got a membership and he's supporting my campaign.
That's awesome.
So I really have not seen that sort of a pushback. I think sometimes people are wondering, you know, why are you running with the Conservative Party? Because I haven't seen, they haven't seen other, maybe they just haven't seen my representation there. And I will say there is a large group of Canadians who are diverse, who also agree with conservative values. And I'm very, very happy and excited to be one of them and be putting my name forward to be a member of parliament and our conservative candidate.
Okay, so when you become a member of parliament, if that's the case, what's your main goal? What would be something that you like really want to fight for?
As a member of parliament, my biggest priority, and I'm going to be very, very honest with you, is representation. We live in a democracy, and I just find with some of the things that have happened recently, I don't know if you guys heard about the Canada Summer Jobs Act.
No,
that's all right. That's all good. So it was an act, it was a change that happened just about maybe 2 months ago. So there's a federal grant that most organizations can apply for if you hire summer students. And you would pay them out of this federal grant to do whatever type of summer work they're going to be doing, right? So this year, our Prime Minister added a new attestation to the Canada Summer Jobs Act that's pretty much said, if you do not agree with the Prime Minister on this issue of conscience, you do not have access to the grants. So a lot of Canadians were up in arms about it because they were like, I don't agree with him on that issue, but my students are doing summer camps or they're doing, you know, they're doing things that have nothing to do with this issue that the Prime Minister is talking about. So why can we not get access to money that's our own tax-paid money for our program? So people kind of came up about it. So the Conservative Party, this is just a long story, but you'll get where I'm going with this. The Conservative Party put forward a motion that pretty much said, okay, Prime Minister, if you do not want pro-life groups, for example, to get access to federal money to do pro-life activity, then just segment it that way and allow other groups that don't agree with that attestation, like faith groups, and it doesn't have to be a Christian or a church, it could be other faith groups, allow them to have access to this federal grant money. When the vote took place on that motion, there was one Liberal MP that voted for the motion. He supported the motion. His name was Scott Sims. And when Scott Sims voted for this motion, he specifically said afterward that the reason he voted for the motion, even though it was a conservative motion, was because his constituents had told him, we care about this and we want you to support us on this matter. And when he did that, he actually got demoted, he got a pay cut, he pretty much got his wrist slapped. And when I watched that happen within the Liberal Party, I was just like, come on guys, our job as an MP, I'm saying our because I'm hoping you guys vote for me for the nomination and at the election. But our job as an MP is to represent our people, to represent our riding. And so that's one of the biggest things that I want to do is I want to be able to represent you. And I also want to be able to speak truth to a lot of things that are being said in the House of Commons about how Canadians are going to deal with things like the carbon tax and things like that, and just kind of speak political lingo in everyday language, just like we're doing right now.
Right.
That's something I also want to do.
And you're also on social media a lot, so you're engaging with people a lot. Yes. I don't see too many people doing that.
Yes.
And how important is that to you to kind of maintain the conversation and keep on engaging with people, just kind of like we're doing now?
I think it's critical. How can you cannot represent people you're not listening to.
Right.
And I remember someone was telling me recently that, Toyin, you could do what other people are doing. You could have billboards and you could do this and you could do that to show yourself. And another one of my volunteers said, but Toyin, what you do is you listen. Mm-hmm. You actually have these meetings where we've probably had over 20-minute meetings so far all across the riding. And if you want to have a meeting, let me know. I'm down to do it. But we have all these meetings where people are just speaking to me and saying, Toyin, these are my concerns.
Right.
For example, the business community here in Chatham-Kent, like if you go to the downtown core, it's like so many people are thinking, how can we revive our business? How can we get people who live in Chatham to stay in Chatham to get business done as opposed to going to London or Windsor or Sarnia? I wouldn't know that it's that much of a concern for people if I wasn't sitting down and listening to them.
Yeah.
So I just really think social media is a platform for this. Okay. We're in 2018, guys. This is the time for us to use the platforms we have to listen to more people, because I can't be everywhere at the same time.
Right.
But you can post on a photo or you can contact me by Facebook Messenger and still get your questions answered.
Awesome. Sarah has a question. Is this your first time running for public office? Now, we talked about it earlier. Do you just want to touch up on that again?
Yes, I will. So this is actually my second time running for public office. I ran in Etobicoke North in the last federal election. I ran for a nomination, so it was a nomination contest, and we were able to win that nomination. And now we ran in the election, obviously, and no, we did not win that election in Etobicoke North. Etobicoke North has been a Liberal riding for about 25 years before I ran, so it remained Liberal. And so this would be technically my second time running for public office. Awesome.
So if you guys have any questions, make sure to ask them while Toyin's here.
Yes.
Also share this so other people can kind of get to know her. And the whole idea about all of this, generally for me to do these, and I'm doing another one tonight with a candidate for mayor and some councillors, is I want people to get to know you.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people, they see the top media, things, and that really doesn't matter. It's the people getting to, do they connect with you?
Yeah.
Why would people connect with you more than anybody else?
Oh man, that's a good question. So one thing that I think is a reason why so many people have been connecting with my campaign, like people are really, really surprised by just how many people are supporting my campaign. Like hundreds of people are behind us right now. And the main reason is because I'm not a politician. Right. I didn't start off, I didn't grow up thinking one day I'm gonna run for office and kind of do all the things that you do to try to just get to that goal. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a Canadian woman, I'm a business owner, I'm a speaker, and I saw a need in our nation and I decided to put myself forward. And so I think one thing that people really appreciate about me as a person is my honesty, my transparency, and just who I am. They can tell when people talk to me, they can tell that I really am in it. I'm a coach. So it's just like when I coach people and they can tell that I'm really in it for them to become debt free. When I talk to people, they can tell that I'm really here for your voice to be heard and not just for my own personal fame or notoriety. I could care less about that stuff. When I see there's an issue in our nation, I want to put my voice there so that we can get things fixed. We can get things done.
Well, I feel you are really into this Facebook Live.
Yes.
Okay. So, Armando, how did you end up in CK again?
Watch the beginning of the video.
People come in and out. Just touch up on a little bit for Armando. I know he's probably watching it there.
Okay, so this is just for you, Armando.
Quick version.
We moved here because we wanted to purchase a house. We're in the process of getting a home here, and it was less expensive. Simple answer, to get a home here than to get one in Etobicoke North, and it just so happened that MP Venkestran was not seeking re-election.
Awesome. And if you guys are looking for homes, I'm a realtor, and you should probably buy a home.
Right.
So, way to get that. See how I planned that?
That
to get
plug
that
right there.
Yeah. And what do you love most about Chatham-Kent-Leamington?
Oh man, that's an easy question. The thing I love the most for me is we live in Ridgetown.
Okay.
And I love the silence. I love the quiet. I love the nature.
When you go into Ridgetown, do you see that llama?
The llama?
The llama that's...
My husband was talking, is it really a llama?
It's a llama, the big hairy guy.
Yeah. My husband saw it just like 2 days ago and he's like, was that a llama? And I said, oh, come on, no you didn't.
When you're going in and out of Ridgetown, you see that llama? That's the greatest thing ever.
So yeah, I love the nature, the farms, like driving through, especially when we drive into Chatham from Ridgetown, you're just driving through the farms, you're seeing the fields, you're seeing the green, the abundance. And my daughter loves nature, like she's just like calling everything out, trees and grass and all sorts of things, cow, and we'll just like park by the side of the road just so she can experience things. So that's my biggest love, is that and the people.
Yes.
You guys are extremely welcoming. Like, I've been here for months now, but I feel like I've been here for years. Mm-hmm. The way people just embrace you and really love, like, it's really awesome. I love this community. Awesome.
Okay, so again, if you guys have questions, make sure you ask them. Why not? And again, hit that share button. And if you want to, or you're a little bit scared to comment now, you can always comment later, especially if you're watching the replay. Mm-hmm. And hopefully you'll respond to a couple things.
Yep.
So what do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? To be honest, I'm a nerd.
Okay.
I read books for fun. And even when I want to watch something, like, I don't even watch movies. I watch Netflix documentaries, like, but I love them, and I don't waste too much time on them. But when I want to take some downtime, I'm either sleeping out in nature by water. I need water.
Okay.
Or reading a book.
Well, Chatham-Kent-Leamington has a lot of
water. And you know, I didn't even know that when we were choosing to come down here. Yeah. We were already living in Ridgetown. I was visiting a friend, and she was like, oh, Toyin, I want to take you guys paddleboarding. And I said, wait, if you have a paddleboard, there has to be water close enough to use it often. And she was like, yeah, the water is just 10 minutes down the road. I was done.
Or 10 minutes the other way.
Exactly, whichever way you want to go. Yes. So I've been loving the water out here.
So just to the nomination thing, how many people you're campaigning to be a candidate?
Yes.
How many people are going to be at this nomination meeting that you're campaigning and getting to know all these people? It seems like a lot of work.
Yes.
But I'm just, in my mind, I can't picture thousands of people showing up to vote. Okay.
So we could potentially have over 1,000 people there.
Okay.
And so that's why I'm asking all of you who are watching to get a conservative membership. You guys have been watching this video, and if you're saying, wow, I really like Toyin, I would like to see her as our conservative candidate. Watching the video is not enough. I need you to go to my website, which is toyincrandell.com, and you're going to register to be a member of the Conservative Party. It costs $15. And guess what? Anyone who is 14 years old and over can register. Yay, Judy! Judy said she's in. Woo! So anyone who's 14 years old and older can register, so your children can participate in the electoral process before the age of 18. And secondly, anyone who's a permanent resident in Canada can also participate in the nomination process, even if you can't vote in the electoral process. And so what I'm asking you to do, get a membership at the Conservative, from my website. You'll get it from the Conservative website. Come back to my website, send me your contact information. I have literally met people, okay, at random events, and they'll come up to me and they'll say, Toyin, I got a card of yours and I registered, but I haven't heard from you yet. Right. And I just want to say, if you don't send me your contact information, I don't know that you've registered, because I'm not the party myself. Right. So make sure you send your contact info to us. But then here's the third and most important thing. You actually have to show up on the day of the vote and vote. It cannot be a proxy vote. And when is the vote happening? We don't know yet, but as soon as I hear, I promise you, you will know. So back to your question of how many people were expecting, I'm hoping that hundreds and hundreds of you who are watching this video will actually get your memberships, send us your information, and show up at that nomination event, but we're expecting probably hundreds.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So after this, can you post the information
Yes.
so that everybody can, if they want to, you know, click that link and go to your site and get registered in that if they want to.
Yeah.
You know, the best part about this is, you know, I'm interviewing so many people from different
So
parties.
many different parties.
And everybody's now getting confused because they're starting to like everybody. So, you know, you get the liberals and conservatives, I like everybody. And if my mom's ever watching, she just likes everybody
just like,
I have on.
it doesn't matter who it is, Ben, I got your back.
Every candidate I've had on, my mom's like, I really like them. Yeah. So that's going to be about it. We're going to wrap it up. If you guys are watching now, tonight I have Allison's story back on. We had an interview earlier a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And that was a popular one. She's working hard. We've had Darren Caniff, the other mayor candidate, and that was a big interview. That was probably my most people watching at one point at the right time. And that. So and for the rest of the week, I got a bunch of others lined up. So share this, hit the like button, and keep on supporting this, and I'll keep on bringing you candidates and people that you can get to know so you can learn more about the system, and again, adding value where you start to learn the whole process of how politics works and how the nominations work and what they do when they're in position. So thank you very much for coming in.
And I want to say very quickly, on behalf of everyone on there and every candidate that you have brought out here, thank you, Ben. Thank you for putting yourself out there, making yourself available for the general public to be able to engage. I watched you do this through the provincial election that just took place. I've watched a lot of your videos, and I really, really appreciate the fact that you're just making a platform available for people to hear the candidates be themselves. Well, and it's not, you know, it's not a curated interview, it's just normal life, and I really, really appreciate it, so thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Okay, so see you guys all next time.
Thank you guys for coming on. Bye. Thank you, Judy, for your support, and see you soon, 6 a.m. this week.